Welcome back to this week's Live About Events. It's a show about all things events, whether it's tips, tactics, and tricks to navigate in-person events. I give one topic discussing its aspects in about 10 minutes and to help you, navigate your next event. If you're just now joining me for the first time, my name is Tiffany English. I am the founder of Velvet Style Event Marketing, where I utilize events as a marketing strategy to build and grow brands and businesses. All right, and I want to talk about this week's topic. This one is personal to me. It's all about how to handle hotels when something goes wrong, okay? And we're talking about advocating for yourself. So whether you're there on business, running an event, or just trying to enjoy yourself, what do you do when something goes wrong at your hotel stay? All right. Now, the reason why this one's personal is because I have had some travel lately and I've had some hotel issues. And so I want to share firsthand experience on the tips that I've used and how they have benefited me with a positive solution. All right. So I got about 5 tips that I came up with. And I think this will, we can always go into it deeper, but these are basically the main ones that I've used that I know have helped me in the long run. So let's get started. All right. Tip number 1, start with loyalty. So at your hotel, whether it's a, if you're staying at a big box brand hotel, whether it's a Hilton, a Marriott, a Hyatt, they all have their loyalty programs. Make sure you're a member. And it doesn't even matter your status, even if you signed up that day as you booked, make sure to sign up. Why? Because hotels value loyalty. A lot of perks come with, these loyalty programs, but they'll see firsthand, with your name when you register, when you sign in, that whether you're a member or not, and loyalty has its benefits. Okay. So want to just make sure that you have that down first before you even get to the hotel, before, there's a problem that arises that you're a member. Because when you do say that, you're going to say, hey, I'm a member. I'm a member of your hotel. So what happens when something goes wrong? Usually, anything can happen, right? You don't expect things to go wrong until they do. So then what? Whether it's your room. For me, it's been a few issues with my room lately. Okay. So brings me to my tip number 2, go straight to the right person. So let's say that your room is a mess. You know what? I'll use my example. I was at a hotel and I did not like my room. I thought it was not up to the standards. I didn't like it. And I didn't do anything about it for a while, for a few hours. I was unhappy. I told someone else, I told a family member I was not happy. But my point is always go to the right person. Go to the front desk and address it sooner rather than later, right? So I did go to the front desk and said, I'm not happy with my room. I've actually had to do that in a few other hotel occasions too. Say just like that. Once you bring your issue to the front desk person, see if they can alleviate the situation quickly, or if it needs to be escalated to a manager or supervisor. Why? Because sometimes the person at the front desk can only do certain things. And depending on your situation or your problem, they might not have the access, the power, the control to do anything about it. Not to say that they don't want to, it's just that they can't. So getting the right person involved from the beginning, like a manager who can, do their magic and make things happen, is ideal. Okay. And then also on a manager level, the thought process is different. Managers are there to encourage their guests to come back, to keep that brand loyalty, to have, that positive image in their guest's mind. Okay. So that's their job. So by going to them first, they're going to do the things that they need to do within their power to alleviate the problem. Okay. So speaking of the problem, that's my tip number 3, stating the problem with clarity. Okay. Take the emotion out of it. Don't start going on a long tangent about how this is your best friend's, uncle's cousin's wedding and yada, yada. Like, get straight to the point, but give clarity and details. So the situation that I had with the unkept room, I had pictures and video. Okay. And I said, I don't like my room, and here's why. And I showed this person the video, and basically she said, oh my goodness, this is unacceptable. So at that point, she was literally trying to, put together a solution. And what I appreciate about that is to, make sure that, they were alleviating it from the beginning, apologizing and diffusing the situation. So I definitely suggest that as, making sure that you're giving clear details on what your problem is. Okay. My next point, know what to ask for. Okay. So you stated your problem and you give a, clear indication of what the issue is. Now what? What do you want ultimately? Now, that issue that I had at the hotel where I showed the video and I had pictures, that person immediately stepped in and offered a solution. She upgraded me. She took off my resort fees. And I didn't have to even say a word. And that's the best case scenario, that they're on top of it, where they want to just make sure that you are completely taken care of. But what happens if they don't suggest that? Having some, general knowledge and research, and knowing that, hey, this is what I want. This will make me happy to fix the situation. So when you are addressing that situation where you're going to the front desk, know in your mind what you want, best case scenario, and just knowing what to ask for. I had a situation where I was in a hotel and I was waiting for a room, and, there was issues getting my room. I was hungry, and I asked for a bar tab. I asked them to comp my meal, and they said, oh, absolutely. So it's something as small as that, what's a $20, $30 meal, but it had a huge effect. It may not have gotten offered had I not asked for it. So that's just my suggestion, knowing that, why not? Why not ask for things and see if you're going to get them? Okay. And, don't be afraid to bring that up, especially when they open the door. What can we do to make this right? Those are magic words. Use them. And lastly, my point number 5 would be to stay cool and calm, collected about the situation. No matter how bad the situation is in your head, you want to take the emotion out of it, and you don't want to be mean and angry and, and lash out, because at the end of the day, the hotel is the hospitality industry, right? They want their guests to come back. They want to be hospitable. They want to be helpful. But, if you come with a nasty attitude, they're going to do the bare minimum, if anything. So just knowing that, if you need to kind of take a breath before you come in hot, because coming in hot is not going to get you the results that you could have gotten had you stayed just really relaxed and let them handle things. I definitely want to reiterate that, because I've seen a lot of issues where, people go to the front desk and they're demanding things, and, they don't get what they want after that. So I do have one bonus tip. So if you are, whether you're booking a hotel for business, pleasure, or for events, my bonus tip is to work with a professional like myself, whether it's an event professional that can handle your event or your meeting, or a travel advisor that can help your personal travel. I can do both. So definitely reach out if that's something that you need. But that would be a bonus tip, because why? As a event professional, we can advocate on your behalf. We know the language of hotel speak. We can get you some really good, things either before your stay or help alleviate during and after your stay. So that's my bonus tip. So here's your takeaway. Advocating for yourself at a hotel should not be difficult. but it's helpful when you're direct and you're cool, you're informed, you're respectful. So whether you're planning a group travel or you're planning your own event, just giving some general knowledge and kind of learning the tips and the nuances of hotels will definitely be helpful. And if you need someone to help you with that, that's what I do. Whether it's your event strategist, whether it's your travel advisor, I'm here to advocate for you. I don't work for the hotel. I don't work for any hotel. So I just want to put that out there. But that's all the time we have. I did it almost in 10 minutes, but I wanted to get those quick tips out to you. Hopefully you found some value. Thank you so much for watching this week's Live About Events. Don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment if you've ever had to advocate yourself during a hotel stay. I'd love to hear the story about that. But until next time, all right, talk to you later.